improvement. And it still had a burning sensation. Maybe we have to look deeper to see if it has any cloudy, any particle in there. Maybe we have a kidney stone, we have a bladder stone, or maybe we ate too much tomato, eggplant, potato, right? So all the calcium oxalate we kick out, or even the spinach. When we cook too well, then it convert into inorganic and it eliminates too much through the urine, so we had a burning sensation. And then if we look back, if we eat that one, so we know that the correlation. So we cut it back, or we stop use that one, and we see the improvement. So that means we look at the end, and we know, and we re-examine, re-contemplate to see what product we used before. Or some case, for example, if we eat red meat, if we take any product, the medicine, some green stuff, it has too much iron, and our body cannot absorb that. So if we kick out, we smell is strong, the odor very strong, and the color sometimes it's a little bit darker. When we take some vitamin, multivitamin, or we take some medication, it has vitamin B in there. The urine it comes out with the color yellow or orange. So if we look deeply, carefully, we can have a relationship between what we used the day before. And if we're not sure, we just keep track another day. We can know right away and we can adjust it instead of let it go for a few days. Especially when we have a urinary tract infection, when we have the kidney stone. If we not correct it, we not treat it at the first sign, it invade deeper, it damage deeper. The same thing for the vision. If we not pay attention to that, we don't see the correlation. The day before, if we ate a lot of protein, a lot of good food, the next day the order coming out very strong. See? So it tells us that if we cut down the meat or cut down the ingredient, cut down the spicy, the order is going to lack. It's not too strong. First. Secondly, when we look back before we flush, see how much is coming out. And it have any blood, it have any abnormal texture in that or not. So perfectly, correctly, the size of our byproduct should be only 1/10 to 1/8 of the intake. It depends on we eat the good food, or we eat a lot of vegetable or fruit. If we eat a lot of soup, vegetable, fruit, okay, the size of the byproduct may be more. But if we eat meat, brown rice, on the good nutrition, the size coming out very little. That is first. Secondly, it depends on how much we eat. If we eat normal, little, we chew slowly, carefully, and we don't drink in the middle of the meal, the digestive fluid will mix completely, break it down completely, and it absorbs maximum. So the byproduct come out later. But if we overeat, or if we eat and we drink in the middle, if for some reason our digestive system, the gallbladder and the liver not work properly, the digestive fluid not produce enough, so it not break it down all here, so then it cannot absorb much, so the byproduct coming out will be more. And also, it works good up here. We eat normal, the digestive fluid enough, it chop up everything here. But if we eat fruit, we tea, we drink cold drink, it will clumsy, coagulate. You see, and when it gets down here, it cannot absorb. So in that case, the byproduct coming out more than normal. And then the other case, up here works good, but down here, for some reason, the movement of the GI tract is too fast. For some reason, it shrinks the pore of transportation, so it cannot absorb here. Again, it still eliminate out more. So if we look at that, we can tell where it had a problem. The first one, that means we don't have a bowel movement every day, for sure. 90% when we see this one, that means we don't have bowel movement every day. We have constipation, so we know how to treat that. About 10% people have this one. They have a bowel movement every day, but the feces, the byproduct coming out like this type. That means that their body absorbs water too fast and they eat too much oily food. So it's coming out like this. So we need to adjust it. Second time and the third one. When we look at the second one, if we look closely, we will see the texture is very glossy. It's not really fine. Sometimes we see the whole fiber of the cellulose still there. We see the whole bean, and we see the flake of the food still in the byproduct. And we know right away, up here, problem, we not chew carefully, right? When we see the structure, the texture, it's really fine, but the amount coming out a lot. That means we have a problem with around here. So we need to look back to see, okay, do this we overeat? This we drink in the middle of meal? If we drink cold soft drink or not? So that, okay, and then we try to eliminate or cut it out. It will have the improvement. And then when we see it come out very smoothly, but it's still a lot. Again, we have to check to see if we overeat or not. If we drink anything have the tannin or pectin or not. Because it now everything doing good up here. But only when it go down here, it cannot absorb. So it has to eliminate. The structure, the texture is very, very fine. But and then it cannot pass through. That means the pore of fermentation is closed out. Perfectly only the middle way. Very fine texture. And then the number 5, number 6, and number 7, that means no good. That means when we have the toxin in the food, we have bacteria, we have amoeba, we have chemical in the food, the toxin released by the bacteria, etc. And then next, we need to look at the color. Correctly, we should have the color like the color of this bowl. The brown, yellow, or a little bit dark yellow. But when we see the dark color, that means we eat too much red meat. We eat too much iron. When we see the chocolate color, and if we smell the very strong odor, that means sometimes we had a bleeding up the stomach. Many people have that, but they don't recognize until they have anemic or they feel dizzy, or sometimes up to the time when we have too many ulcer and it bursts out at the same time and the blood coming out fresh, it mixed with the blood being metabolized during the process it going through the intestine. So if we see it have a really dark brown color with the strong odor, that means we have some bleeding, internal bleeding, usually from the stomach of duodenum. And if we see the green color, but the texture still good, that means we ate too much green stuff. But our body still can digest, still can absorb that. Some case, our body cannot, especially for people, what we call zinc people, cold people, the digestive system is not really good. So when we eat too much green stuff, that means that is zinc too, right? Zinc people eat zinc food, so it cannot digest and absorb. That way we have some type of loose stool. Come out the green, that means all that from the vegetable coming out. So we know that when we cut down, especially salad or the sprouting, all that cannot be used too much for the zinc people. And then if we see the flake like the sputum, sometimes yellow, sometimes white color, sometimes the red color, or that one can be the mucus bladder along the GI tract. It can be the blood coming out, because if the patient have listeria, cholera, amoeba, all that can destroy. Or even though the toxin of the Clostridium can cause that one, from E. coli can cause that one, and some plant it have a toxic substance, it can cause the damage of the intestinal wall. So it's not only the mucus coming out, but the blood coming out too. So use it mix in the watery or loose stool. Some other case, we will see the fresh blood coming out. It stick on the stool, and type 3 and type 4. Definitely type 1, 80%, 70 to 80%, type 1, it has the blood around. Easy to understand, right? Because when it stays in the sigmoid for too long, or when it's dry like that, it's very hot. And when it passes through the anal, it will crack the skin, the blood vessel here. So it causes the bleeding and the blood coming out, and it wraps around the feces, or maybe it wraps in the toilet bowl. Sometimes we have some polyp or the tumor along the sigmoid area here, and it can cause the obstruction, slow down the movement. So that's why it remains longer, the feces remain longer in this area. That's why it becomes drier and drier, stiffer and stiffer, harder and harder. So when it passes through here, very difficult, and it causes the cracking of the blood pressure down here. So it will cause bleeding. If we see the blood happen on the first half, from the first half, that means you used to have problem around here. Because we used to have a tumor in this area too, cancer and tumor around here and around here. So if we see the first half, usually it happens in here. If we see the second half, usually it's down here, right? All right. So that's the color, the red color. So you have the brown, dark color, the green, the yellow, and the red. Yeah, so far that's the common color we can see. So if we look at that for a few seconds before we flood, we can know it right away, and then we can observe it the next day, and we can correct it. If it's too dry, okay, drink more fluid. Eat more fiber, and then try to have bowel movement on time. And we have some food, some oil we already have in the table of how to treat for the complication. And when we check on the texture here, we know where it comes from, so we need to correct our chewing technique, we need to correct our eating habit and drinking habit, etc. And when it had a problem like here, we need to check back to see if we eat anything new, anything wrong, any old food, any old condition come back, something like that.
Are you happy to answer questions on sort of infantile feces stools? It's a conversation I have very often with people because they always talk about the colour of what's in a nappy. In green stools with infants and things like that, any thoughts? I've heard lots of different explanations for it. I wonder what your take was.
Green?
Green. A green stool in an infant.
Yeah, because usually, first, because the baby is not full development of all the enzyme. Yeah, so it cannot digest, it cannot absorb that, so it eliminates out right away. Secondly, again, all of the vegetable is zinc. So, and then the baby not well developed in the immune system yet. So it's weaker than the adult people. So that's why, okay, it eliminates out right away. It don't want to keep long in there. So that's why it comes out the color of the vegetable we eat, so that's why it has green.
But even if it's a breastfed or a...
That is normal. That's normal.
Okay.
But we just know, so depend on the development of the baby. Some it grow up faster, some it adapt faster. But most of the baby, okay, it's really slow development for all the enzyme system and all the immune system. So that's why, okay, they usually don't give the baby the green stuff, the fresh one. Usually have the cooked one. All right. After we examine the urine, the feces, we can start to go to wash our face, right? When we go to wash our face, and then we will check on our face in general to see anything new, anything abnormal. It have any different color, it have any pinpoint coming out, it have any pain area. And we look at our eyes, our nose. I think we were talking about it more tomorrow, and then from that we will learn the system, how our body reflects of internal out on the face, on the forehead, on the screw, on the hand, and then we use that for diagnosis and for treatment too. Alright? Thank you. We take a few minutes break, and then we will have continue for private consultations, and then what we do next? We do
Tea break. Yeah. And then we have down there.